bulking actually make you stop looking skinny fat? The honest answer is sometimes it gets you an aesthetic physique and sometimes it makes you look way worse. And I know because bulking is the exact reason I went from skinny fat to just fat. In this video, I'm going to show you whether you should bulk right now, the 3 mistakes that make most bulks fail, and the exact rules that let you gain muscle without getting fat again. But first, you need to see why bulking backfires for most skinny fat guys. When I was skinny fat, I hated how I looked. So I did what most guys do and went on an aggressive cut to try and lose as much weight as possible. So I went from 250 pounds to 165 pounds, fully expecting a full formed six pack to appear. But instead, I just got skinny. So I panicked and thought, okay, I need to bulk because I need to get muscle on my frame. And this decision changed everything, but not in a good way. Because I went from 165 pounds to 210 pounds in a matter of 3 to 4 months. And I didn't gain a huge amount of muscle, I just got fat. And if you're skinny fat and bulk the way I did, that's going to happen to you too. Because I made 3 mistakes that almost everyone makes. Mistake 1, I weighed myself every single day and I tracked weekly averages. And I had this belief burned into my brain that more weight gained equals more muscle built. So if my weight didn't go up by at least 2 pounds a week, I panicked and ate more food. And that was a fatal mistake because weight gain does not equal muscle gain and calories don't build muscle. Training is what tells your body what to build. Because think about it, if extra food by itself built more muscle, then everyone on my 600-pound life would be absolutely shredded. Mistake 2, I trained 7 days a week, about 2 hours a session, and every exercise I did 4 sets of around 15 reps. And I thought I was training hard, but guess what? As you can see on the photo, I barely gained any muscle. And that's because muscle isn't built from more work, it's built from effective work. So you want to think of this like baking a cake. If you add salt in instead of sugar, you can keep adding more salt, but the cake's never going to taste how it's supposed to, and it's probably going to taste pretty horrific. And then mistake number 3 is that at the time I was obsessed with playing FIFA. So I would stay up until about 3 a.m. I'd have terrible sleep, my stress was high, and my recovery was just in the bin. And that's one of the fastest ways that you can ruin a bulk because poor sleep equals poor hormones. And if you have poor hormones, then that means you're going to have poor muscle growth. So now the real question becomes, what actually makes a bulk work? And more importantly, should you even be bulking right now? So this comes down to one thing, and that is your body fat percentage. If you're above 15% body fat, then you probably shouldn't bulk yet. And if you bulk too early, you're just going to repeat the same cycle that I did, and that is that you're just going to get even more fat. And just quickly, if you want me to personally help you to bulk without getting fat, the Skinny Fat Fix opens on January the 1st, so the wait list is in the link in the description below. Now, if you are ready to bulk, then these are the 4 rules that are actually going to make it work. Rule 1 is a slow rate of gain. So slow bulks win every single time, and I like to refer to these as the lean bulk. So you should gain no more than half a pound a week, and that's because faster than that equals unnecessary fat gain. So that causes you to cut early, and then that kills any muscle growth potential that you had over the long time horizon. And then rule 2 is to eat for performance. So protein repairs muscle and carbs fuel your training. Therefore, you need to aim for around 1 gram per pound of body weight in protein every single day, and then you need to aim for about 2 grams per pound of body weight in carbs every single day as well. So for example, if you ate 150 pounds, that would be 150 grams of protein and then 300 grams of carbs that you eat every single day. Then rule 3 is that training intensity matters most. And I'll be honest, this is where most guys mess up because if your training doesn't force adaptation, nothing's going to grow. So every working set should be taken to technical failure, which means that you physically can't do another rep with good controlled form. So don't stop when it burns or when it feels heavy. You only stop when you physically can't do another rep with a gun to your head. Then rule 4 is that sleep is a non-negotiable. So like I already mentioned before, sleep regulates hormones, hormones regulate recovery, and recovery regulates muscle growth. So that means if you have bad sleep, then you're going to have a bad bulk. But I can't stress to you enough how important training actually is. Because if you don't know how to train properly, you're still going to mess this whole process up. And that's exactly why skinny fat guys bulk and just end up more skinny fat again. So watch this video next because I'm going to show you exactly how to train so that your bulk actually builds you more muscle instead of just making you more skinny fat.